Hey everybody, Steve here, and welcome to another AFR review. Today we're taking a look at Platinum Series Baseball. This game was just released here in 2015. It's for 2 players, and a game is going to take you probably about 30 minutes or so to play out. Now, one of my favorite guilty pleasures from about 15 years ago was a game called Mlb Showdown. This was a collectible card game that was put out, and it featured the likenesses of professional Major League Baseball players, and you bought a base set of it, and then you could buy booster packs and try to complete your season set, and then you could actually play a game of those. It was a really fun game. Unfortunately, they released, I think, 3 different seasons of it, and every year they changed the game just enough that you couldn't use the cards from the previous season to play. And so I was very excited when I heard about this Platinum Series Baseball, and that it was going to be sort of the same thing, that you buy a starter set and then you can add on to the players that you initially get buying booster packs. So the real question is, how does this game play? Does it hold up to my memories of Mlb Showdown? Well, let's take a look inside the box and I'll show you a sample play, and then I'll tell you what I think after further review. Okay, so here's a look at the box, and I have to say right off the bat that this game really struck me with its visual presentation right when you get the box. It has a really nice box and everything fits really well inside. You have the game booklet, the score sheets, a folding game board. You can see how the inlay here of the box was made so that it fits everything. And then it has room for pencil to keep score, of course. 3 10-sided dice, 4 stands, and then it has 2 trays where you can put your cards. So the game comes with enough players so you can create 2 teams. And then it also has some of these generic cards that are for emergency pitchers, and then pitcher batting cards. Okay, so here is what the game board is going to look like when you have it unfolded and get your player set up. Now, the game does come with these stands, so you can put the starting pitcher and then whoever's batting on a stand, and as they go around the bases to hold them up. But for the sake of the video here, for easier viewing, I'm just going to leave them off the stands. So, as I said, when you open up the game box, there'll be enough cards that you can create 2 teams, 2 full teams, and have a few players left over for a bench. So I've got a couple sample teams set up here. I was really happy to pull a Brock Holt in my starter pack. And how the game works is you're actually not even going to use the front of this card for the basic game. Instead, you're going to flip it over to the back side. And you'll see each player has 2 columns, and it's versus a left-hander and versus a right-hander. Pitcher card has the same thing, versus a left-handed hitter and versus a right-handed hitter. And how each bat is going to play out, you're going to simply roll the 3 10-sided dice. They're red, white, and blue, and then that's the order you'll read them in. And you'll get a number between 1 and 999. And if you roll a number that's 499 or less, you're going to read the result off the batter's card. And if it's 500 or higher, you'll read it off the pitcher's card. Very simple 50-50 split mechanic. So in this case, we rolled a 351. That means we'll read it off of Brock Holt's card. He's facing Corey Kluber, who is a right-hander. And at 351, we see that he gets a HG-3B, which means it's a hard grounder to the third baseman, and that is going to be a out. We'll take a closer look at the score sheet, and you'll see that this is probably unlike any score sheet you've ever used, either at the ballpark or in a tabletop baseball game, in that you have really, really small spaces for each of the players at bats. Now in the back of the instruction booklet, it gives you this key here for what you should write in for each of the at-bats. So in Holt's case, grounding out, you would just simply write a O for out on a sheet. And then you'd move on to the next batter. So here in the instruction booklet is all of the card results, and this is also on the game board for quick reference. And you'll see that the results are pretty simplified here in this version, and that either they're going to get a various kind of hit, or they're going to fly out, or they're going to ground out. And really that's the basic layout of the basic game. You simply pick your starting lineup, bring your pitcher out there, and roll the dice, get a result, and play through the game. And just to show you how simplified they've made the game, with the grounders, there's not even a chance for a double play. So, for instance, on a hard grounder, it's just simply that the batter's out and the runners hold, regardless of what the base situation is. And the way the game booklet is laid out, you can see it's a pretty sparse looking instruction booklet that gets you through it very, very quickly because it's a very basic game. And you might miss that there's this little paragraph up here that tells you you need to go to the website to get the advanced rules, and that's where all of these different numbers are going to come into play, and where you'll start getting stolen bases and double plays and different kind of results. However, I'm just going to show you what comes inside the box, and you can check out the link below. It's right at the Platinum Series Baseball website, and you can actually download all of those advanced instructions and all of the advanced charts for free to take a look at them. So let's just give you another couple at-bats here. So Brock Holt, ground out, and that'll bring up Yasiel Puig. And you'll see he's actually a special card. You can see by the lightning bolt. And what this signifies is that it was a hot hitter. I believe it's that the card reflects a hot month that player had. And so it has a little cool lightning effect in the background of the card, as well as the lightning symbol. So Puig will come up with one out, nobody on. Roll the dice, and we get a 174, so that'll come off the player card again, and this time it gets a single to left field. So we'll put Puig on the stand here, move him to first base, and we'll mark down on the sheet a 1 that he got a single, and that'll bring up the designated hitter for the team here, Jason Worth. Again, we'll roll, and this time we get a 753, so that means the result's going to come off the pitcher's card. Worth is a right-hander, so we're going to read from this side, and a 753 gives us a P3B, which means it's a pop-up to the third baseman. So Worth will be out. And now there's 2 down with a man on first. And they'll bring up the center fielder, Adam Eaton. And he gets a 186. So that's going to come off the batter card. Read off the right-hand side. And it's a double to right center. So Puig will end up at third. Eaton ends up at second. And then we'll write a 2 down to signify that Eaton got a double. So 2 down for Richie Weeks, the second baseman, and 2 on. And we get a 641, so that's going to come off the pitcher's card. Weeks is a right-hander, and it's going to be a single. It's a grounder to right field. So that will score 1 run. Puig comes in, Eaton goes to third, and Weeks will end up at first base. And so we'll leave the game there. There's 2 out, 2 on, and Kluber struggling, trying to get out of the inning without any more damage. Alright guys, so there's a look at Platinum Series Baseball, and as you can see, a very simple baseball game to play out. Very small footprint, and it also has the added appeal of having authentic Major League Baseball players, because it does have the MLB license for the cards. And unfortunately for me, that's where the positives of this game end. The gameplay that comes inside the box, which is what I like to review, I like to let you know what you're going to get inside the box when you buy the game, is just way too simple. And if you've been playing tabletop baseball games for a long time, then this is not going to replace your go-to baseball game. And if you're just getting into tabletop baseball games, I feel like there's some other better choices out there that are going to give you a better experience playing baseball on your tabletop. And I mentioned in looking at the game that there are advanced rules for it, but there's the advanced rulebook is an additional 29 pages that you have to go to the website and download and then print off yourself. And then there is an additional 64 pages of charts. So the game goes from this very, very simple, almost 50-50 game of baseball between who wins the advantage, the pitcher or the batter, and then very simplified rules of runner advancement, which there really isn't any, and no stolen bases, really no strategy whatsoever except who your starting lineup is going to be, to this really deep, involved series of charts, everything from weather charts to double play charts, pitcher fatigue, how many days rest a pitcher can have after they've pitched so many number of innings. So there's a lot of stuff out there that really adds to the game, adds some different levels of strategy to it. But I feel like it's just a lot to put on the person who has bought the game, that they need to go online and download a lot of pages and print them out so that they can get the full experience of the game, especially when they get so little out of the game right out of the box. As I said, it's a very, very small game booklet, and it just almost as an afterthought just had this one little small paragraph saying that, oh, by the way, the advanced rules are online, so you can go check them out there. So unfortunately for me, this isn't something that I'm going to be playing again. It didn't capture me after a really impressive introduction to it. As I said, the box is wonderful. It has a really great inlay. I wish that more games had well thought out box inserts like that. Everything fits back in nicely. Everything has a spot in it, and the card wells are definitely big enough so that if you do get the game and then you add on some booster packs, you'll have room for a lot more cards in there. But beyond that, just the way that it uses completely different terminology from everything we've learned about baseball, whether you're a baseball fan, a baseball tabletop, board gaming fan, or both. For as simple as the game is, they use these really strange acronyms for things. For example, like a switch hitter is listed as a BH. And so just little things like that really kind of takes you out of the baseball frame of mind. And maybe this is a game that some younger children would enjoy if you're trying to introduce your kid to tabletop baseball gaming. Maybe this would work, and then also you get the added benefit of being able to collect cards and maybe pull your favorite baseball player. Maybe this will appeal to some people, for me, it's something that I'm going to have to give a pass on. Alright guys, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. My name's Steve, and I'll see you next time after further review.